Welcome back to Global Gap, the podcast where we unpack the big, sometimes overwhelming world around us. I'm Sam, your host, and today we're diving headfirst into a topic that touches all of our lives: globalization.
Hey everyone, I'm Regina. I think globalization is one of those words we hear all the time. But do we really get it?
Exactly. I'm Kimberly, and I'm hoping we can break it down today. Like, what is it? Beyond just stuff happening everywhere.
I'm curious about the impact, good, bad, or a bit of both. I feel like there's a lot of debate.
Hi everyone, I'm Rhea. I'm especially interested in how globalization affects different cultures and traditions.
Great points, everyone. So let's start with the basics. Regina, how would you describe or define globalization in your own words?
For me, it's about interconnectedness. It's increasing flow of information, goods, capital, and even people across national borders. Think about how easily we can buy products made halfway across the world or communicate with someone on another continent.
That makes sense. I think the internet has really accelerated globalization. Suddenly, we're all exposed to different cultures and ideas, whether we want to be or not.
That's a double-edged sword, though, isn't it? On the one hand, access to information and different perspectives is amazing, but on the other, it can lead to cultural homogenization where everything starts to feel the same.
That's what worries me. Local traditions and language can be threatened when exposed to dominant global cultures. We see it happening with the smaller language disappearing and traditional craft being replaced by mass produced goods.
So, are we saying that globalization is inherently bad?
Not necessary. I think it's more complex than that. Globalization has also lifted millions out of poverty through increased trade and economic opportunities.
Definitely. And access to global markets can be a huge benefit for developing countries. They can specialize in producing certain goods and trade with the rest of the world.
But even that it has its downsides. Sometimes these trade agreements can exploit workers in developing countries, leading to poor working conditions and low wages.
And what about the environmental impact? Increased transformations and manufacturing contribute to climate change, which disproportionately affect vulnerable communities.
These are all crucial points. It seems like globalization is a powerful force with both positive and negative consequences. How do we navigate this complexity?
I think it starts with awareness. We need to be conscious of choices we make as consumers and how they impact the world.
Absolutely. Supporting fair trade businesses and buying local whenever possible can make a difference.
And we need to hold corporations accountable for their actions. They have a huge influence on the global economy and they need to prioritize ethical and sustainable practices.
I think education is key. Understanding different cultures and perspectives can help us appreciate diversity and avoid cultural insensitivity.
So it sounds like we all agree that globalization is multifaceted issue with no easy answer. It's a process that's constantly evolving and we need to be actively engaged in shaping its future.
So, I'm an American, but I was born in England, spent 2 years in China, and then made my way here. I speak Spanish, want to study in Brazil, and then live in Australia. Right now, my best friend is from India, and my boyfriend, well, he's American too, but his parents are Egyptian. Mine are Canadian. So, who am I? I'm someone that wouldn't exist were it not for a connected world, which, oddly enough, is the same for my phone. My phone consists of a South Korean screen, utilizing Taiwanese Touch ID and containing Thai transistors. It contains custom Cambodian capacitors, Swiss semiconductors, and a German accelerometer. Although it was assembled in America, like me, it was made in the world, which means that this amazing piece of technology is only possible when there is cooperation on a global scale. If the Malaysians mistakenly manufacture the wrong memory cards, then no phone. If the Chinese chip for Wi-Fi is withdrawn from world trade, no phone. And if Japan stops making ramen, well, that has nothing to do with the phone. But, oh, delicious ramen. Sorry. Basically, if any barriers prevent the global machine from running smoothly, then no phone. It's globalization at its finest. The entire world working together to lower costs, scale production, and innovate. It's an incredible system. Incredible! Except for things like child labor, of course. Normally we don't hear about that bit. Just like we don't hear about who mines the cobalt for the long-life battery. Perhaps you can guess why. For globalization to work best, we need to have global standards. Global standards for employment, tax, and the environment. If we're to have global products, we need global rules. Otherwise, how can we possibly watch a cat video whilst taking care of business and feel okay with ourselves? So, who am I? I'm a global citizen, using a global product. And if I'm to benefit, shouldn't everyone else?
We're running out time, but before we wrap up, I want to ask each of you one final question. What's one thing you think everyone should know about globalization?
That it affects everyone, whether we realize it or not. We all part of this interconnected system.
So it's not just about economics, it's about culture, politics, and the environment too.
That is important to be critical of the narratives we're told about globalizations. We need to question who benefits and who doesn't.
That we have a responsibility to use your voices and actions to promote a more just and sustainable form of globalization.
Powerful words. Thank you, Regina, Kimberly, and Drea, for sharing your insights. And thank you, listeners, for joining us on Global Gap. We'd love to hear your thoughts on globalization also. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world. Bye!